Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Empire Earth. I'm the Mysterious JG. This is the first video I am recording using my new headset, which I tried to use last week on something and realized that the microphone, which is plugged in separately, wasn't in all the way. That was literally it. I was searching for drivers. I hadn't stuck the microphone connector all the way into the jack. In my defense, it really needed to get rammed in there. Anyway, um, so yeah, there's going to be little bits of graphical weirdness on this game because I'm trying to record full screen, and the game itself is old and it's not meant for modern display and blah blah. So like these little stripes here, that's not supposed. This grid that goes right through this lady's eyes, that's not supposed to be there. But it seems like the actual in-game, when you're playing the game, graphics are good. And I guess if we were going to choose one to be janky, we'd rather the menus look a little funny than the game itself look funny. But anyway, we're going through. I'm just doing one video per tutorial campaign. Had like, as is my norm, like 10 times as many people on video 1 as showed up for video 2 and 3, but people still seem to be here. So let's keep going with these tutorials. We're going to very slowly work our way through this game. This should not be a difficult series to keep up with if that's your thing. Building up. I'm building up. I want the world to know. Set up the central infrastructure of a city. You will learn to develop settlements into town centers and then into capitals. Well, that's cool. Last time we had tigers. No, last time was gold. The time before that was tigers. Yeah. So combat and defense isn't until tutorial 4. So this one, well, we're just building. And hopefully the narrator won't be echoey. Carthage is born, 814 through 750.
Phoenician trade has spread throughout the Mediterranean. But Greek raiders are threatening merchants bound for the distant colony of Gades in Spain.
Gades,
You
the
have been
sinister
given
old
the important
destruction.
task of establishing a safe haven for Phoenician traders in North Africa.
Ha
Colonists have been provided, and you must build up the basic infrastructure of a city that is to be called Carthage. By following your advisor's instructions, you will learn to develop settlements into town centers and then into capitals.
Well, what if I don't want to call it Carthage? What if I want to call it JG Ylvania? Anyway, yeah, there's like a Dudley Do-Right isn't quite right, but there's a very distinctive and kind of odd vocal quality to this narrator. But I'm actually quite enjoying him. I'm hoping he's not echoey. That's the main reason I went out and got these new headphones. Is just eyeballing them on the Amazon page, it looked like they had nice, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like significant, like there's a real presence to the earbuds on this thing. The earphones like really do just completely cover your ear. They're meant to be background noise eliminating, and I will tell you, like, my own voice in my own head is echoey just because of the way that these things are really. So I'm hoping that there is no echo of the game audio at all, because I know I'm an old man, but I don't think I'm completely deaf, and it had gotten to like where whether I'm doing stuff with Grimmeth and Lethal and Zerfall or on my own, like I have to turn the sound down so freaking low before my mic doesn't pick it up that I can't hear the game I'm playing at all. But this video is not about my new headset. This video is about Carthage. So we got a map here. We have what we were just told. By the 9th century BC, Greek colonies in southern Italy had emerged as important powers in the region, and armed raiders began to harass Phoenician trading vessels. Tyre responded by sending colonists to North Africa to establish there a secure port for her merchants. Phoenicians called this settlement Kart Harasht, meaning new city. The Greeks came to know it as Carthage. Carthaginians gave the traditional founding date of the city as 814 BC. The archaeological evidence suggests the date may have been a little too early. In any case, Carthage was destined to become a mighty empire in its own right, standing for hundreds of years. The city of Carthage was ultimately destroyed by Rome in the middle of the 2nd century BC, at the end of the Punic Wars. But 100 years later, Romans rebuilt the city. If you're confused or you missed an instruction, press previous message buttons in the upper right corner of the screen. It's the one that looks like an envelope. That's kind of handy. Alright, so let's get on with things here. I'm seeing my recorder window. I don't want that.
You and your Phoenician colonists have been dropped off in North Africa. A city that shall be known as
Am I one of the
Carthage
guys in the
is to be built
Skorks?
here. Your advisors have chosen the perfect spot for a capital building and marked it with a flag. Build the capital near this flag. It will become the center of your city.
Don't you dare go against your advisors. They know better than you. Okay. So, if I can pause, I would like to pause. Because we've got visible recorder, which was getting on my nerves. And now it's gone glitchy as hell. This is unfortunate. This is really irritating. I wasn't having this problem with the game before. Well, maybe it'll sort itself out with time. Tyrian transports are friendly. I have outlets. Maybe this will restore our graphics just clicking this menu. That was what was needed there. Okay. So this is our flag. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Delos. Explore capital. It requires 100 wood, which we have been given. Can't build it here for some reason. This will bring us closer to the wood. The actual flag itself, we are not allowed to build on, so let's just build it right up here by the tree line. With many hands, makes the work go faster. This guy here doesn't feel like doing his job.
Your advisors have surveyed the surrounding land. The limits of the city of Carthage are now marked out with flags. All the buildings that you are required to build for Carthage must be constructed within these boundaries.
What?
Additional buildings that you decide to construct can be built anywhere. To feed your people, begin by building a granary within the boundaries. Then ensure that at least one farm gets planted.
So what you're telling me here, game, is that you're placing very strict boundaries around me, and I'm not allowed to just kind of chillax and enjoy the larger map. I guess there could be, like, you know, non-stop tiger attacks outside of these boundaries. These are magical anti-tiger boundaries. Or the game's just like, no, look, we get easily confused. To get credit for building all the stuff you need to build to finish the scenario, please just put them in these boundaries and don't be a pain in the butt. At any rate, I don't want to ruin this nice road, so let's set up our granary here. I want to have somebody scout. So I'll just have this one guy exploring. He doesn't have particularly great visual range, but I think we can probably afford to have one guy exploring. Meanwhile, all these other people are... Oh wow, giraffes, neat. Kalos. We can have more than one person exploring, I think.
Carthage is off to a good start, but no city is complete without a temple to honor the gods.
Hey, this is
Build a
an
temple within the
atheist
city
city, okay?
limits. Although your capital and granary required only wood, other buildings, such as temples, require stone as well. Some stone has been provided for you.
Okay, so they're not going to force me to go...
Talas, Kalos, Stoma.
They're not going to force me to go build a bunch of stone. Or find a bunch of stone, because it only costs 50, so... Well, we apparently worshipped the water gods. I don't know. Now we'll stick this over here.
Stoma.
Stoma. Kalos.
Sunte. Dalas. Stoma. Kalos. Sunte. Stoma.
Just trying to get ahead of it. I mean, they're gonna want us to do something other than just
Kalos.
wood.
Talas. Kalos. Stoma.
It feels like we've saved up enough.
Sunte.
Certainly started with a decent amount of wood, so.
Kalos. Excellent. You have done proper homage to the gods. Eventually, you will use temples to train priests and prophets.
Talas.
Temples also protect
Stoma.
against calamities. But for now, do not forget your primary mission, to provide a safe haven for Phoenician vessels.
Stoma.
This will require
Alright.
docks. Build at least one dock on the shore near your capital.
Well, you know, buddy, you can tell me not to forget my primary mission, but it's not like I had the option of building docks before you told me, so get off my case, okay? I'm just saying. Look at some shitty looking docks. I guess these are like... We are primitives, after all. These are primitive docks. Man, it must have been great living in the old days. Gold just like sitting there for the taking everywhere you went. A lot of people exploring kind of the same direction. Nobody heading over this way at all. Alright, well, we got a temple to honor the gods, which I guess is me and the one controlling everyone's actions. I'm one of those Greek-style gods. These are transplanted Greeks, right? I'm one of those Greek gods.
To secure the future of your fledgling city, you must gain control of vital resources. Gold and stone mines can be found inland, outside your city limits. Colonize both of these areas by constructing one settlement near the stone mines and one near the gold mines.
Talas.
But I'm a Greek-style god, which means I basically just act like a person, just kind of, you know, sort of a douchey sort of person, and
Stoma.
and sort of manipulate people into doing stuff without them knowing it. That's pretty much what the Greek gods are all about. Yeah, see, nobody came down here and explored this. So the game has to tell me where the stone mines are because I'm not finding anything on my own. I got 3 people off exploring, and he's like, I wanted to see every inch of this space, but I will never ever go in this direction that makes up most of the map. I don't know why I'm taking out my frustrations. Everything in my personal life I'm taking out on these poor scouts now. Why can't you lose weight? Why don't you make more money at your job? Auto scout. Well, we can build fishing rafts. Not sure. I mean, there's fish here. It's not telling me how much fish is there. Guess I might as well have one going. I'm not building villagers because I don't know what the heck to use them for. I'm farming because that's kind of what you do in these games. Let's see, you can research, replant farms, or... Yeah, I mean, anything that costs food and wood, there's no particular reason not to buy them at this point. We're not currently foraging, so I'll lead off with that.
Currently, you have good relations with the indigenous peoples of this land, but that could change. To protect your access to the mines, upgrade both settlements into stronger town centers. Settlements are upgraded by populating them with citizens.
No.
Select a group of citizens. The round button with the steps and columns is the populate button. Click the button and the mouse pointer changes to a hand. Now click on the settlement to populate it. The group of citizens will walk to the settlement and go inside. Note that clicking the cancel action button would have canceled the populate action, turning the hand back into the normal mouse pointer.
Okay.
Several citizens are needed to run a town center, so if the settlement didn't upgrade, populate it with more citizens until it does. Once inside the building, citizens take up permanent jobs and cannot leave. They are also removed from your population count. If the citizens were carrying resources, those resources were deposited in your inventories. Make sure to upgrade your other settlement into a town center in the same way.
Bloop, bloop, bleep, bleep.
Your colony is succeeding admirably. Your fellow Phoenicians now have a safe harbor on their way to Spain and Sicily. New colonists from Tyre have arrived in Carthage. You can put them to work gathering or finish populating your buildings.
I didn't get to see this place transform into a super settlement. Anyway, yeah, I figured that it did suddenly take a whole... Alright, well, somebody didn't like the way I was talking smack about them and came all the way down there to explore. Basically, we don't have, we have good relations with the local inhabitants, who appear to be giraffes and ostriches. So that cannot be... Now this can be, you can have people doing extra fancy stuff there. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so 6 more would be 15.
A bonus of populating your settlements is that citizens dropping off resources at a populated building get an economic bonus based on how many citizens are working inside.
Talas,
Now it is time to start gathering gold and stone for your growing city. Stockpile at least 100 units of each. If you wish, set rally points for your 2 new town centers and queue up citizens at them.
Alright, so I need 6 more people here if I want to power it up even more, although I'm not sure that's at all necessary.
Pote,
But I can understand why they suddenly just dropped a bunch of people on me, considering.
Pote,
Okay, I don't need to be. This is now a capital in its own right. I don't think I need to power it up any more than that. We used more gold than food, so if our objective to finish this campaign is 100 stone and 100 gold, then sure. Okay. You just decided you wanted to use a tree that's really far away. Oh, you guys just all stopped. You were on your way to go populate
Talas,
this thing, and...
Stoma,
Okay. Well, there is an idle villager button, but if I... Oh, you never got assigned anything to do either. Okay. Well, we might win by the time you get there, but we can do some stone work. Temples.
Capitals provide the largest economic bonus since they require more citizens. They are also stronger buildings than town centers. Keep creating citizens and send them to populate your 2 new town centers. Once they are populated with enough citizens, they will automatically upgrade into capitals.
I've done that already.
You can-
Okay, so the game got confused, but I got ahead of him.
You have done a masterful job.
Thank you!
Under your astute leadership, the Phoenician colony of Carthage is growing to become a major power in North Africa.
Oh, shucks.
Soon, Carthage will break free of her mother city, Tyre, and emerge as an empire in its own right.
But only after a bloody bloody attack of the Carthaginians against Tyre, in which they butcher their former countrymen and wear their skins as a symbol of their awesome power. Okay, sorry. Alright, well, I guess I made that take a little longer than it needed to, but not really. I didn't come out of that really understanding, because I was about to start having people populate the granary. I guess I don't really understand what difference populating buildings makes. It says, well, you know, they got more hit points, I guess. Although I don't think this thing has any defensive capabilities. It's not a tower. It's not some kind of automatically fighting stationary structure. They say that you get an economic bonus the more people are in the building. So, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm not real sure. It says you get bonuses, so like, you know. But there's only a finite amount of gold, so are you gathering the gold faster? Are you going to be able to get more gold? I don't really know. Hit points is the obvious thing, and I would think maybe, you know, maybe if I upgraded this from a capital to something higher, there would be additional like research things I could do that were not available to me without. They did a masterful, to use the language of the tutorial itself, job of explaining how to populate buildings. But I'm still a little fuzzy on why you're doing it. And this is the type of series where somebody who might just be a super fan of the game is watching. And if you feel like explaining, go ahead. But I get the general gist of it. I would imagine that most of your buildings, it's worth probably kicking them up to the next level. And you probably want to have at least one of the highest level of your initial starting capital. You probably want to boost that up as high as it goes to get access to research, and maybe your settlements that exist I'm just throwing it down to grab stone and gold, and I have no further use for it after that. Maybe you don't need to be wasting a lot of effort on that. But we are being told to quit the game, so let's quit the game, like the man said. Check this real quick first. Oh, we don't have Oh, I guess we had civilization bonuses we could have gotten here. Total points spent. Okay, well, we had civilization points and I didn't use them. Shame on me. But what we missed is he was starting to say population level is shown in the information area. There are also stronger buildings in town centers. Keep creating citizens sent to populate your new town centers and stay popular with episodes and automatically upgrade to capitals. You can view the current number. That's what he was starting to explain when, but it still doesn't quite tell me. All right, let's quit this game. We will view the statistics. We had a big spike in people. I think I know when that was. That was when they just gave us a shit ton of people. And as you can see here, putting them into buildings reduces our population. So it can appear that your people are being brutally murdered if you don't understand the timeline. Society-wise, we defeated those transports that were our ally by just having lots of people. Good for us. Alright, guys, when we come back next time, things might get a little bit closer to what one might potentially call exciting, as we will have combat and defense. I would assume that when we're playing the actual game, we are always, that sometimes more difficult scenarios than others, but I would assume we will always have a hostile force trying to stop us from winning. Otherwise, it's just kind of SimCity with cave people. Whatever it is, there'll be more of it next time, so I'll see you then.